Hey, it's your girl JB. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit more into detail about my psychosis experience where I had left off about how I came to Christ cuz that is actually part of why I think the way that I do at this point in time and why I serve the Lord the way that I do. So to kind of go back at that part of where I accepted Christ as my savior, um to get back on that part where I had you know she showed me that scripture and was just like, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood but against principalities and high places. So to get back on that part where she turned on the gospel music, and I had basically anxiety or whatnot. But in that same sense of where I was having anxiety, I actually was feeling a sense of peace, like, and I'm not sure if I slept or not, or I slept well or not, but I believe I did because I remember like waking up. I don't know if it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was just the sleep was different because I know whenever I, had woken up, I just felt peace. Like I was just at peace. I was like, this is a different kind of peace that I've never have ever really felt before, because before then I was always used to like feeling like miserable, angry, and all these other feelings, before I accepted Christ. And another thing I kind of want to say, specific things, is another way of how my character used to be, because I kind of want to show y'all where I had came from, personality wise and just mentally wise. Is so I remember there was a point in time, I don't exactly remember what day or whatnot or anything like that of the sort, but this is something that I remember. And it was one of those, you know, times where I was feeling sarcastic with my little brother, and me and him were in the kitchen. Keep in mind this is middle school, maybe 12 years old, maybe 12, maybe 13 years old at this time. And my brother, he's only maybe like four, 4 or 5, maybe, yeah, maybe 4 or 5. And I grabbed a knife and I said, I'm gonna kill myself. And it's just like, when I think back to that, I'm just like, man, there's definitely something mentally wrong with me, you know. And being a child at that time, it's just like you're not thinking critically. You're not thinking, oh, how is this going to impact my brother? It's just kind of how my mindset was then. I mean, I had points where I did want to die, because it's like when you feel so sad and miserable and people don't like you, people just, you know, children are going to be children, teens are going to be teens, and they're just going to, be mean to you because they don't even know how to regulate their own emotions. They don't know how to nobody's walking through with them how to get through the things that they're feeling. And to me, I believe it's such an important and critical time for parents to really, teach your children how to regulate their emotions, teach them how to, not take things out on you know, other children, because, it just kind of repeats the cycle, children, or, I mean, yeah, I consider that being a child, or, but really it's a, teen at that time, but, but, yeah, it's so important to, help your child regulate their feelings, but also walk them through how to get through things. Because if not, stuff like that can happen. I mean, I don't even think, I don't even know. I don't even know if I told my parents that. I think I told my mom, but I don't know if I told my dad that. But yeah. Um And then there was another time. So this kind of goes into like anger. So I remember my cousin, she's living with us at the time. She made me angry. And, I don't know what it is that she made me angry about, but before that point, she had made me angry. She gave me a teen Bible. And, mind you, I don't really believe in God at this point in time. So whenever she made me mad, that same day she made me mad, I took that Bible and I ripped it in front of her. And she was just like appalled. She was just like, she can't even believe I just did that. But I'm just like, I don't see no problem with it. I don't care. I'm angry. But I also don't know God at this point because it's like, you know, and I think back to it, I'm just like, man, like, I wish I didn't do that. But, again, when you don't know God, you don't love God, you don't care for God, you do things that are not wise. So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, at times when I was a child, even when, another thing that goes into like, emotional regulation or being able to like regulate your emotions. So this is really cringy to me, but in the same sense, it does go into emotional regulation. I didn't know how to regulate my feelings. I didn't know how to like, you know, I didn't know how to forgive people. I didn't know how to like, let things go. But there was a point in time my dad took me to Staples and we went to go get some certain supplies, for my school cuz need supplies for school. And there was something that I wanted. It was glitter pens. And I was just like, "Dad, can I have these glitter pens?" And he's just like, "No." And I was so upset. I was like angry, but I was like sad at the same time. So it's just like, I accepted it for what it was and um whenever, we got home, we got home. I had a whole mental breakdown when I got home. I was just like mentally I have to say I have to say this is probably one of those moments where it's just like this had to have been a telltale sign of like, mental illness at this point because it's just like I literally broke down crying and just like it was like a whole panic attack kind of thing. I'm just like, and my dad, he didn't know what was happening. He's just like, what is going on with you? Kind of thing. Like I don't think he's seen that before. So it's just like, yeah, I think it made him feel bad. And it's not like I intentionally wanted to do that. It's just that when I when I really critically think about it, I think really it was more so about like kind of like all the things that I was going through at the time, considering my mom was drinking during this time. I was getting bullied and just like I didn't like school. I hated people. I hated myself and it's just I'm a mental turmoil at this point. It's just kind of like, there's one thing that was like gonna like, it was just the smallest thing to me and it's just like, man, it was the smallest thing to me, but it would have made me really happy to get those glitter pins, but it's just like, it was just one of those tiny inconvenient things where it's just like, yeah, this is just the I'm sorry. When I think about it, I'm just like, man. Young me was just like mentally unhinged. I mean, not that it's not that it's like, um what's the word? Just not that it's not okay, I'm not trying to be insensitive to myself, but it's just like when I think about it, I'm just like, wow, like I really lost it over glitter pins. But I guess it's trying to make bright out of a sad situation. So I mean, like, okay, so like when you when you go through stuff like that, sometimes you just have to make the the most of it, or you know, look at it in a better light. Because to me, I don't. there's a lot of things that this is only just the tip of the iceberg. No, not the tip of the well, actually, yeah, it is the tip of the iceberg because it gets worse than this. Believe me, it gets worse than this. I'm telling you, it gets worse. But I would have to say this is probably one of those things where it's just like, oh, like it's there's something there kind of thing. So yeah. Okay, so I want to jump back to whenever I that day that I was gradually getting my mental health was declining. So I'm gonna go back to whenever I woke up that day and I was felt peaceful, right? And the following day I have school, so I yeah, sorry. But yeah, the following day I have school, so I everything's normal, it seems, right? I get ready for school, I go to school, and everything's normal. Everything seems fine, and I feel kind of like ecstatic, or like I have high energy. I just like I feel different. I feel like I'm on top of the world kind of thing. Like I'm just, I'm happy. I feel like things are going to be better. Things are going to like start looking up for me. Like I'm not going to be, bullied anymore. I'm going to make new friends, and I'm hopeful. There's, you know, especially at this point that I accepted Christ. I'm just like things are looking up, you know? I felt okay. Look, I'm sorry. There's just fuzzies on here. No, it was distracting me. But yeah, I'm going go through my classes, and there's this point where I guess like I'm confused about I'm confused about I guess the lunch schedule, because I thought like you can leave and go home for lunch to go eat or something like that. So during the lunch break, I walk home, and I live very close to home. So it's just like a 5 minute walk away. I just live right next door. I'm gonna go back home. And at this point, my mom was just like, "Huh? Like, why are you here?" Because I don't know if she's working at this point. I don't think she's just working at this point. But And she's just like, "Why are you home?" I was like, "Oh, we're on break. We're on our lunch break or something like that." And I don't know. And I think I'm listening. Well, I'm on the computer at this point, and she's fine with it, whatever. And I'm listening to music, and then my dad gets home, and he's just like, you know, why, why, why? Oh wait, never mind. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm having a little indiscrepancies in some parts. Okay, because I don't exactly remember that part. Okay, so like after that, um she was fine with it, but she's like she's not really sure, so she wants me to go back to school. So that's what I did. I go back to school, and I finish my class for the day. It's pretty chill, it's pretty laid back. But I'm just like, okay, I get home now at this point, and now I'm on the computer. Okay, now I'm on the computer, and I'm just listening to music or whatever. And like I don't know, like my dad gets home, and I don't know, something about the atmosphere, the energy of like being at home is just strange at this point, because I'm just like, I don't know, like um I don't know how to explain it. Like I guess like things just start getting distorted or like twisted in my mind, where it's just like, you know, things that they're saying isn't really making sense, but I'm also having like a flashback of like deja vu or something. It's weird because it's like I'll come back to the deja vu part, but it's just like I don't know, like at this point I'm having like anxiety. I'm having like I don't know, something's not right. But it's just like how do you like how do you explain something's not right when it's like everything is okay? It's like it's internal. It's inside of me. Something's not right. And I don't, there, you know what? Hold on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to, there's actually I wrote a while back it was a, it was kind of like basically, I wrote this in class, but it was pretty much like, life is more than what it presents. Meaning, like, so even though, tangibly we see things, it's just like, spiritually, you know, there's a different um realm, basically. Or that's basically how I would explain it. But I'm going to read this to y'all, and y'all can actually read this essay or this document if y'all want. So if y'all are interested in actually reading it for y'all self, y'all can do that, but I'm just going to read it for y'all, okay? To kind of like, cuz at this point, like, I'm having a little bit of a hard time kind of remembering since it was so long ago, but this is more like closer to where I'm able to remember it, but this is more accurate to what I'm trying to explain here to kind of catch up on what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Because admittedly, like when y'all go through, well, I'm not gonna say y'all have gone through it. I don't know if y'all have before, but if y'all have, y'all might understand what I'm saying. But like, there are like blotches in memory where it's like there's certain things you don't remember, and there's certain things you do remember. But this is kind of like the reason why I've kind of like wrote this down, because it's just like, I don't know, it's like some things I have a hard time remembering. So anyways, I'm going to read this to y'all now. It says, life is more than what it presents itself. This day in my life changed my perspective on life and also has made me who I am as a person today. That life is more than what it presents itself. When I was 13, 14 years old, I was angry and bitter, atheist, agnostic, but yet still interested in the spiritual side of things and just not happy. I hated myself and hated others and just lived life with existential dread. I don't even know if I said that right. Pardon me if I said that wrong. But when I have went on into my freshman year at, I'm going to just skip the school name. I decided I wanted to change. I wanted to be better, and I just wanted to be more compassionate towards other and just not be ugly. I was tired of it, ugly in a sense of like, like I hate others. I hate myself. That kind of thing. I didn't want to be ugly like that anymore because it was really like, it was dragging me down basically. It was really making me miserable. I wanted to stop being a miserable person. But anyways, but once I felt that way and actively tried to do that for myself, my mental health has started to decline and felt like the devil was after my life. And I don't mean he showed up as a red body imp and pitchfork. He tried to come after me, but after my mind. Prior to the day that changed my perspective, I remember sometime around August 8th or the 23rd, sometime around there, my mom called me into her room. So this is basically a little recap about what I just said. And during that time, I was doing my hair, but I felt kind of weird and different. I felt like somebody called my name, but nobody called me, or so I thought. I asked my cousin who was on the couch if someone called me, and it was my mom. So I went to her room and wondered what was up. She said she had noticed and said something different about me, but she couldn't put her finger on it. Therefore, I told her pretty much what was on my mind. I'm not sure what else I had said, but she had said go. She had told me to go to my room, and that's when things got weird. The lights in my closet started to flicker, and I panicked and asked my mom, "Did you see that?" She didn't answer me and redirected my focus on the scripture passage in the Bible. It is said, "For we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." Ephesians 6:12. Um, hold on. Due to reading that passage, I felt like the first time in my life I related to a Bible passage and was amazed and interested. It spoke to me, and I wondered to myself, how did my mom know? I calmed down even more, and my mom had put on gospel music, and it started to skip and mess up, and I started to freak out more, but I also had a sense of ease at the same time. Nonetheless, I went to bed, but it was more those laying in bed and you try to go to sleep but haven't gone to sleep. Yet that day it wasn't as bad to what was coming. Oh yeah, that part before I quoted, that scripture, yeah, I did accept Christ. But I just wanted to mention that because I realized for some reason I did not put that there. But yeah. But yes, I did accept Jesus Christ as my savior. Um, so it was August 24, 2012 was my first day of school as a freshman. Everything was normal and my confidence was like pretty high. I had high hopes that things would be better for me, but later on I got confused about my school schedule. And for whatever reason, I thought it'd be okay to go home and thought, oh, other people are leaving. I should too. I got home and my mom was home. I told her class was over, but when we went to look back on my schedule, I had to go back to class for my last period. A simple mistake. So I went back and then came home. I went to go on the computer, it was blasting music, and that's when my dad came home. And that's when things got confusing. Okay, so now we're at the part where I was supposed to be at. So he started talking about God and how the devil is God, and even showed me writings in his notebook and scribbles. It made me nervous, and I suddenly wanted to run away. And around that time, I also flashed back mentally in my head where I had a deja vu dream in the past. This is where I'm supposed to run away now. When I run away, my dad is chasing me, but this hasn't even happened yet, and I'm feeling like this is what I'm supposed to do, but I didn't do it. Oh, I just wanted to kind of get on that part about like deja vu. So like before I came to Christ, I was having a lot of deja vu back then. So like for me, it was like I would have a dream and that day, or maybe not that day, but maybe like in the following week or so, it would happen exactly how it happened in my dream. And I'd be like, "What? Like, what is this? Why? Why is this happening to me?" But yeah. I don't know. I don't know why that was happening to me, but at this point in time, for some reason, I felt like I should have run away from him. Like, because for some reason, that is what I dreamed of a while back. So I'm just like, this is what I'm supposed to do. But, I didn't. So let's see. Then eventually my mom comes home because for some reason my mom's not home at this point. I think she was out doing something. I don't know what she was doing. And I'm telling her pretty much what had happened. And I'm in panic mode. I'm mentally rationalizing if that even happened or not. And she's trying to calm me down, but I go to my room and get all my belongings that I feel are closest to me. And I go outside and she comes after me. And at this point, I'm hiding in the bottom apartment storage closet and I'm still in panic mode. And my mom is still with me and she doesn't seem to understand. She's just like, I don't understand what's happening with you. Eventually, she calmed me down and was able to bring me back upstairs, which was around nighttime. My parents were both trying to get me to lay down, but I couldn't keep still, and my dad tried to restrain me, and I lifted him up off of me. I tried to get out of the room and tell my parents to take me to the hospital. So, like, basically, I'm in their bedroom, and, they're both laying down with me. I guess they're both trying to, like, get me to calm down, I guess, but it's just like, my mom's like, I can't remember what side she's on. I don't think it really. I don't think, like I'm saying, I'm sorry. Like some things are just like a blackout. It's like some of these things are a blur. So I'm trying my hardest to remember these things. This is in 2012. So pardon me if I have a hard time remembering some stuff. But this is some of the stuff that I remember very, very well. Um, so pretty much at this point I can't remember if I think it's my dad on this side and my mom is like on this side, so I'm like laying in bed with them trying to like they want me to calm down, they want me to go to sleep, I guess, because school. And um I guess he's trying to like hug me or restrain me or comfort me, I don't know, but like I literally, I guess my adrenaline and anxiety is so high that I literally took my feet and I pushed him on his stomach area and I lifted him like up. Like he is like feet in the air kind of thing. And yeah, and I'm just like I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm acting this way. And, I'm just like, mm-mm, like, take me to the hospital, pretty much. Like, I don't know what's going on with me. And, yeah, but pretty much, that is pretty much what happened on my first, psychosis kind of, experience. I know, a lot of things were just twisted and I didn't understand. And another thing I remember mentioning, oh, wait, and this is another thing that I remember. I had like a visual, like, kind of like in your mind, how it's like, you imagine things. I remember like a door, and it was like a black door, but it's like white around this door, like kind of like shining through kind of thing. And I'm just like, what is that? And why do I see that door kind of thing? And I didn't think of anything of it. And I also, um, there's also there's something that I noticed like on my leg, and it looked like a bite mark. So it's just like, I don't even know how it got there, but it's like I feel like bruising on my leg. So those are kind of like two things that I kind of like noticed, or I was just like, or I guess that's like a part of the, I guess, psychosis kind of thing. But yeah, and I remember telling my parents like, I'm not the only one who's been through this. As in, like, I knew, like, automatically. I'm just like, I'm not the only one who has been through this experience that I'm experiencing. But I don't know why I said it. I just said it. So, yeah. And yeah, that is my psychosis experience the very first time I had it. And I also do remember being taken to the hospital somewhere in Dallas, I believe. And I remember they were just like trying to figure out, like, what, your information, and just like, do you know what year it is? Do you know what month? And the time and this and that. And it's just like, I don't even think I can really answer them because I'm just like, I'm mentally kind of out of it. I don't, there's something wrong. That's all I know. That's all I can say. There's just something wrong. And let's see. I also actually wanted to show y'all some of the documents that I have. So yeah, hold on. Give me a moment and I will get those documents to show y'all.